It starts with a wobble and ends with a sickening snap. Statistics warn that one bad fall is often the gateway to a nursing home, costing you your home and your freedom. Why? Your legs are running on empty. Stop walking on borrowed time. Discover the 7 missing fuels that stand between you and a catastrophic hip fracture right now. It starts in the quietest moment of your day. You are sitting on the edge of your bed, feet touching the cold floor, just as you have done thousands of times before. You push down to stand up, expecting your body to obey, but for a split second, there is a hesitation, a wobble, a tremor deep inside your thighs that wasn't there a year ago. You grab the dresser for support, your heart skipping a beat, and you brush it off. You tell yourself you are just stiff. You tell yourself you are just tired. But deep down, a cold, sinking fear begins to take root because you know, instinctively, that something has changed. This is not just stiffness. This is the first whisper of a catastrophic betrayal happening inside your own body. Most people ignore these whispers until they turn into a scream. That scream usually happens on a staircase, or in the bathroom, or on a slippery sidewalk. It ends with the sickening sound of bone snapping against a hard surface. The silence that follows that sound is the most terrifying silence you will ever hear, because it marks the precise moment your independence has been shattered. The grim reality that doctors often whisper about, but rarely say to your face, is that for someone over 60, a fall resulting in a hip fracture is often not just an injury. It is the beginning of the end. It is the doorway to the wheelchair, the hospital bed, and the loss of your dignity. ElderFit Nutrition welcomes you and sends our warmest regards to all our viewers who are determined to fight for their strength. But here is the mystery that baffles medical professionals and patients alike. Why does this happen? Why do some 80-year-olds walk with the sturdy stride of a soldier, while others in their 60s find their knees buckling under their own weight? Is it just luck? Is it just genetics? The answer is shocking in its simplicity and terrifying in its implications. Your legs are not getting weak simply because you are getting older. They are getting weak because they are starving. You are witnessing a biological crisis where your body, desperate for specific nutrients it is no longer receiving, has begun to cannibalize itself. It is breaking down your muscle tissue to survive, leaving your legs hollow, shaky, and vulnerable. This is not a natural part of aging that you must accept with resignation. It is a warning sign flashing red on your physiological dashboard. It is a signal that your engine is running on empty, and no amount of walking or exercise can fix a car that has no fuel. You have been told that frailty is inevitable, but that is a lie. The shaking knees, the difficulty rising from a chair, the slowness on the stairs, these are not sentences. They are symptoms, and symptoms can be treated. Before we unlock the nutritional secrets that can reverse this process, if you believe that your health is your most valuable asset and you want to join a community dedicated to aging with power and vitality, please take a moment to hit that subscribe button below. Your support gives us the motivation to continue researching and bringing you these life-saving truths. The tragedy is that millions of seniors are suffering from this starvation while eating full meals every day. They are eating, but they are not nourishing the specific biological mechanisms required to maintain muscle density and nerve function in the lower body. We are about to embark on a journey to discover the 7 specific foods that act as high-octane fuel for your legs, foods that can turn off the biological switch of muscle decay and turn on the engines of regeneration. We are going to stop the trembling. We are going to silence the fear of falling. We are going to rewrite the script of your future, proving that you can stand taller and stronger at 70 than you did at 60. But first, we must understand the enemy we are fighting. It is not time. It is malnutrition disguised as aging. To ensure you are truly ready to absorb this information, I want you to pause and reflect on what we have just discussed. I want to ask you a question that might change how you see your body from this day forward. Based on what we have just shared, what is the primary reason your legs begin to tremble and weaken as you age? Is it A, it is the natural, unavoidable decay of the body caused simply by the passing of time and old age? B, it is a specific lack of nutritional fuel causing the body to break down its own muscle tissue? Please type your answer, A or B, in the comments section below. Let's see how many of us are ready to reject the myth of inevitable frailty and embrace the science of strength. Now that we have confronted the silent crisis occurring within your limbs, we must turn our attention immediately to the reconstruction process. You cannot build a fortress with sand, and you cannot rebuild an aging body with empty calories. We must introduce the architects of your physical renewal, the specific materials that do not just fill your stomach, but actively repair the crumbling foundations of your muscle and nerve tissue. This restoration begins the moment you wake up. Consider the egg. For decades, it has been unfairly demonized, yet it remains nature's most perfect blueprint for life. However, for the aging body, we must look at the egg not merely as food, but as a biological ignition switch. As you age, your muscles become resistant to growth. They are stubborn, refusing to repair themselves despite your best efforts. You need a trigger to force them into action. That trigger is an amino acid called leucine, found in abundance in eggs. When you consume 2 eggs, you are not just eating breakfast. You are flipping a chemical switch that commands your body to stop decaying and start building. But here's the secret that changes everything. How you prepare them matters deeply. Your digestive system is not as aggressive as it was at 20. A hard-boiled egg, rubbery and dry, is difficult for your body to break down. Instead, embrace the soft-boiled egg, where the white is set, but the yolk remains rich and liquid. In this state, the proteins are primed for absorption, sliding easily into your system to begin their work of reinforcing your tired quadriceps before you even finish your morning tea. While eggs ignite the engine, we must also consider the long, silent hours of the night. It is a cruel irony that while you sleep, your body often enters a catabolic state, breaking down the very muscle you are trying to save to keep its systems running. To combat this, we turn to Greek yogurt, but not just any variety. We need the dense, strained version that carries a dual payload. It contains whey protein for immediate use, but more importantly, it is rich in casein. Casein is the slow-burning log on the fire. It digests over several hours, releasing a steady stream of amino acids into your bloodstream while you dream. By consuming a small portion before bed, you are hiring a night shift construction crew. They work tirelessly through the darkness, patching the microscopic tears in your muscle fibers so that you wake up slightly stronger than when you went to sleep. Yet, raw strength is useless without control. A strong leg that cannot feel the ground is a liability. This brings us to the third architect, often overlooked in the conversation about mobility: poultry, specifically chicken. We are not eating chicken simply for the protein block. We are seeking the vital B vitamins, B12 and B6, locked within its fibers. Think of your nerves as the electrical wiring of a house. Over time, the protective insulation around these wires wears thin, causing signals from your brain to stutter before they reach your feet. That split-second delay is often the difference between catching yourself and suffering a fall. The nutrients in chicken help repair this insulation, ensuring that when your brain commands your foot to step, it obeys instantly and precisely. However, dry, overcooked breast meat is a burden on senior dentition and digestion. The wisdom here lies in the slow cooker. By stewing chicken until it falls apart at the touch of a fork, you pre-digest the proteins, allowing your body to access these critical neuroprotectors without the struggle of chewing through tough fibers. These 3 foods, the egg, the yogurt, and the stewed chicken, form the structural triad of your recovery, laying the groundwork for a body that defies the erosion of time. With the structural framework of your muscles and nerves now being reinforced, we must confront the invisible enemies that seek to dismantle your progress from the inside. Even the strongest engine will fail if it is overheating or if its fuel lines are clogged. In the aging body, this overheating is known as chronic inflammation, a silent, smoldering fire that eats away at your joints and stiffens your movements. To fight this, we need a powerful extinguisher, and nature provides this in the form of salmon. The omega-3 fatty acids found here are not merely fats. They are biological firefighters that rush to the sites of pain and inflammation in your knees and hips. But there is a practical wisdom we must apply here. Fresh salmon can be a luxury, yet the humble canned salmon, particularly the varieties that include the soft, crushable bones, offers a superior advantage. By consuming these softened bones, you are harvesting a direct source of calcium, reinforcing the very skeleton that your muscles are trying to support. Once the inflammation is tamed, we must ensure the engine fires correctly. Have you ever felt that sudden agonizing seize of a cramp, or the feeling that your legs simply won't respond fast enough? This is often a failure of ignition caused by a lack of magnesium. Spinach is your spark plug. It holds the magnesium required for every single muscle contraction. However, raw spinach is a fortress that your aging digestive system struggles to breach. To truly unlock its power, you must wilt it. The gentle application of heat breaks down the cellular walls, transforming the spinach from a fibrous challenge into a potent delivery system that floods your blood with nitric oxide. This compound dilates your blood vessels, widening the highways of your circulatory system so that oxygen-rich blood can rush to your legs when you need to climb that final step. Yet these highways must be kept clean. Over decades, oxidative stress acts like rust accumulating in your pipes, restricting flow. This is where berries, with their deep, dark pigments, perform their critical work. These anthocyanins scrub the inner walls of your microvessels, ensuring that blood reaches the furthest extremities of your toes. Do not be fooled into thinking you need expensive, out-of-season fruit. Frozen berries are often superior, harvested at the peak of ripeness and flash frozen to lock in their medicinal properties, offering a potent remedy that respects your budget. Finally, we need a fuel that burns slowly and steadily, preventing the dangerous energy crashes that leave you feeling shaky and weak. Enter lentils, the unsung hero of longevity. In the blue zones, where people walk strong into their hundreds, lentils are a staple. They provide a complex carbohydrate structure that releases energy drop by drop, keeping your legs powered for hours. When combined with a simple whole grain, they form a complete protein, proving that you do not always need meat to build a body that can carry you through the world with grace and independence. We have gathered the materials, the architects of protein and the firefighters of inflammation, but a pile of bricks is not a house. Knowledge remains abstract until it touches your plate, and for many, the greatest barrier to strength is not a lack of desire, but the sheer exhaustion of the kitchen. As we age, the joy of cooking often fades into a burden. Standing by the stove becomes painful. Chopping vegetables becomes a test of dexterity we no longer wish to take. Therefore, our strategy must be built on two non-negotiable pillars: softness and simplicity. We are not aiming for culinary perfection. We are aiming for the most efficient delivery of fuel to your fading muscles. Let us envision a day where every bite is a calculated investment in your mobility, yet requires minimal effort. Your morning ritual begins not with complex preparations, but with the humble soft-boiled egg. There is no need for heavy frying pans. Simply boil, peel, and smash them onto a slice of whole grain toast. In 5 minutes, you have administered the leucine trigger that wakes up your muscle synthesis for the day. As the sun climbs, so does your need for protection. Lunch should be your shield against inflammation. Imagine a bowl of wilted spinach, quickly softened in a pan, topped with that flaked canned salmon we discussed. The olive oil dressing is not just for flavor. It is the vehicle that carries the vitamins from the leaves into your blood. It is light, it is potent, and it leaves you feeling energized rather than heavy. The afternoon brings a critical juncture. This is when the energy crash usually hits, and the temptation for sugary biscuits arises. Resist it. Instead, reach for your rescue bowl, the Greek yogurt mixed with thawed berries. This is your bridge between lunch and dinner, a cooling, protein-rich infusion that stabilizes your blood sugar and keeps your hands steady. Finally, as evening settles, your kitchen should already smell of comfort without you having lifted a finger for hours. This is the magic of the one-pot philosophy. Your dinner of stewed chicken and lentils has been simmering slowly all afternoon. The lentils have broken down into a creamy, thick broth, and the chicken shreds effortlessly. You ladle it into a bowl, warm and nourishing, consuming a meal that provides the fiber to settle your system and the amino acids to repair your body through the night. This is not a diet. It is a rhythm of life designed to keep you standing. Before you rush to embrace this nutritional arsenal, we must pause for a moment of necessary caution, for powerful changes to the body must be handled with wisdom. Food is medicine, and like any potent medicine, it interacts with your unique biology. If you are currently taking blood thinners such as warfarin, the sudden introduction of large amounts of spinach can be dangerous. The vitamin K that strengthens bones can also thicken blood, counteracting the very medication saving your life. Similarly, while protein is the salvation for your muscles, it can be a burden for those with compromised kidneys. Do not walk this path alone. Involve your doctor, showing them this plan so they can adjust your treatments as your strength returns. Furthermore, your digestive system is like a muscle itself. If you flood it with fiber from lentils too quickly, it will rebel. Increase your intake gently, allowing your gut to adapt to this new, richer fuel. Beyond safety, there is a secret rule of timing that separates those who merely eat from those who successfully rebuild. It is called the 2-hour window. When you return from a walk, a climb up the stairs, or a session of gardening, your muscles are in a unique, receptive state. They are literally crying out for repair. You have exactly 2 hours to provide them with protein, perhaps that Greek yogurt or a hard-boiled egg. If you feed them within this window, the nutrients are absorbed greedily and used for reconstruction. If you wait too long, the door closes, and the effort of your movement is largely wasted. Finally, I ask for your patience. In a world addicted to instant gratification, you must accept that biology does not rush. It took years for your legs to weaken. It will take at least 4 to 8 weeks of consistent nutrition to feel the tide turn. You may not feel different tomorrow, or even next week. But one morning, about a month from now, you will stand up from your chair and realize you didn't need to grab the armrest. That moment, that silent victory of standing tall under your own power, is worth every egg, every bowl of lentils, and every moment of discipline. Start small, but start today. Do not let another meal go by that does not fight for your freedom. The choice is no longer just about what is for dinner. It is a choice between a future in a chair or a future on your feet. Choose strength. We have traveled a long path together in this short time, moving from the terrifying possibility of a fall to the empowering realization that the solution lies within your own kitchen. We have dismantled the dangerous myth that frailty is the inevitable price of admission to old age. Instead, we have uncovered the biological truth that your legs are not failing you out of spite. They are simply crying out for the specific fuel they have been denied. We have learned that the egg is not just breakfast, but a spark for muscle synthesis. We have seen how salmon acts as a shield against inflammation, how spinach ignites the connections between nerve and muscle, and how the humble lentil provides the steady endurance needed to navigate your day. This journey is not about vanity or trying to look like a bodybuilder in your 70s. It is about something far more precious: your dignity, your autonomy, and your ability to live life on your own terms. It is about the difference between watching the world from a window and stepping out into it with confidence. The science is clear, the foods are accessible, and the strategy is simple. The only missing variable in this equation is your decision to begin. The deepest lesson to take away from this is that your body is remarkably forgiving. No matter how many years you have spent neglecting nutrition or accepting weakness as normal, your body is still waiting for you to fight for it. It is ready to repair, ready to rebuild, and ready to strengthen the moment you provide it with the right materials. This teaches us that it is never too late to rewrite the ending of your story. You are not a passive victim of time. You are the active architect of your future. Every meal is a vote for the kind of life you want to lead. When you choose the protein-rich yogurt over the sugary biscuit, you are not just dieting. You are casting a vote for independence over reliance, for strength over fragility. Applying this to your life does not require a grand, overwhelming overhaul of your existence. Do not wake up tomorrow trying to force down all 7 foods at once. That is a recipe for failure. Instead, choose one. Just one. Maybe tomorrow, you simply decide that your breakfast will change. You commit to the soft-boiled eggs. That is it. Once that becomes a habit, a rhythm that feels natural, then you add the berries in the afternoon. Small, consistent actions compound over time into massive results. Treat your nutrition like a retirement account for your body. Small deposits made daily yield a wealth of health that will sustain you when you need it most. Now, I would love to hear from you. We have discussed 7 powerful foods today: eggs, Greek yogurt, chicken, salmon, spinach, berries, and lentils. My question to you is simple. Which one of these foods are you going to commit to adding to your grocery list this week? Please type your answer in the comments below. Reading your choices helps inspire others in our community to take that first step, and I look forward to reading every single one of them. If this video has given you hope, practical knowledge, or a new perspective on your health, please consider subscribing to ElderFit Nutrition. Your subscription is the fuel that keeps this channel running and motivates us to continue researching and creating content that helps you live your strongest, healthiest life. Thank you for watching, and here is to your strength.